In a distant future, Earth was silent. The cities were gone. The oceans were dark, and the stars above were full of ships that did not belong to humans. For centuries, humans had ruled their world. But now they were nothing more than pets. The new rulers were tall, silver-skinned beings called Solarians, powerful, emotionless creatures who collected species from across galaxies. They loved strange pets. They kept glowing birds, talking fish, and even small suns trapped in glass cages. But their favorite pets were humans. To the Solarians, humans were funny. They loved how humans talked, played, and showed emotions. They would dress them in colorful clothes, make them perform tricks, and laugh when they cried or laughed. In one of the shining cities of Zolara Prime, there lived a young woman named Mira. She was a pet owned by a rich Zolarian noble, Lord Varnock. He displayed her proudly in his garden like a rare bird. Mira lived inside a glass dome filled with fake grass, fake trees, and a fake blue sky. Every day, aliens came to see her. They watched her eat, sleep, and talk to herself. They would giggle and say, "Look, the human thinks she's free." But Mira was not alone. Inside her dome lived a small gray cat, Luna. No one cared much about Luna. To the Zolarians, she was just an accessory, a pet of the pet. But to Mira, Luna was family. Mira had found her as a kitten years ago when she was first captured. Luna was the only real thing in her fake world. Every night, Mira whispered stories to her. She told Luna about Earth, about rain, about the stars humans once reached. The cat would listen quietly, her yellow eyes shining. Sometimes Mira felt like Luna understood everything. One day, strange things began to happen. Lord Varnock's palace was full of whispers. Other alien nobles had lost their pets, and not by accident but in fear. Their pets had disappeared, leaving only claw marks, broken cages, and strange black blood. Rumors spread. Something hunts inside the domes, but no one believed it could be dangerous. The Zolarians were too powerful, too proud. They thought nothing could harm them, until the night came. It was late. Mira sat under the fake moon, brushing Luna's fur. Suddenly, the lights in her dome flickered. The air grew cold. She heard a faint growl, deep, alien, not from her cat. Then she saw it. A shadow moved beyond the glass, tall, fast, and crawling on all fours. Its eyes glowed green. Its skin shimmered like liquid metal. The creature sniffed the air and turned its head toward her dome. Mira froze. Her heart pounded. Luna's fur stood up and she hissed softly. The creature slammed against the glass, hard. Cracks spread like lightning. Mira screamed, stumbling backward. Guards rushed in from the other side. Alien soldiers with plasma spears surrounded the dome. But before they could fire, the creature vanished into thin air. Only a deep claw mark remained on the glass. Lord Varnock ordered security to triple. He laughed, pretending he wasn't afraid. "Just a wild beast," he said. "Nothing can harm us." But deep inside, every alien in the city felt the same chill. Something powerful was hunting them. Something unseen. That night, Mira could not sleep. She held Luna close and whispered, "Whatever that thing is, it will come back." Luna purred softly, but her eyes never blinked. She stared at the crack in the glass, her tail twitching. Outside, the alien sky burned with lightning. Somewhere in the shadows, something moved again, crawling closer, and for the first time in 100 years, the hunters of the galaxy were afraid. Because they didn't know. The next hunt would not be theirs. The next morning, Zolara Prime was silent. No laughter. No visitors. No lights in the sky. Only fear. The story of the beast had spread through the alien city like fire. One by one, nobles whispered in fear. Pets had vanished again. Even from locked cages, even from domes made of steel. Lord Varnock pretended not to care. He told everyone the stories were just rumors. "It's impossible. No creature could enter our domes," he said with pride. But when the guards were gone, he stared at the cracked glass of Mira's dome, and his hands trembled. Inside, Mira watched him carefully. She could feel his fear, though he would never admit it. Luna, her cat, sat near the glass crack, eyes fixed on the outside shadows. Every time something moved beyond the dome, Luna's ears twitched. It was as if she could sense the thing before anyone else. That night, Varnock ordered all domes to be sealed tighter. Guards patrolled every corner. Weapons were ready. But the stars above looked different, darker, colder. Mira couldn't sleep. She sat beside Luna, whispering softly, "Do you think it will come again?" The cat's eyes glowed faintly in the dim light. She didn't blink. She didn't meow. She just stared. Mira sighed. Maybe it's just another monster. Maybe it wants freedom too. Outside, something scraped against the glass, a long, sharp sound like claws. Mira jumped to her feet. Her breath caught in her throat. The shadow was back. This time it was closer. She could see its shape, tall, thin, with glowing green eyes and a body that shimmered like water. Its mouth opened slowly, revealing rows of silver teeth. Then, silence. The creature moved its hand across the glass. It stopped where Luna was sitting. The cat didn't move. She looked straight into its eyes. For a few seconds, time stopped. Then the creature hissed, not at Mira, but at the cat. It stepped back. Its body shifted, melting into darkness, and disappeared again. Mira was shaking. Why did it look at you like that?" she whispered. Luna blinked slowly, tail flicking. Moments later, alarms echoed through the palace. Guards shouted, lights flashed red. Mira ran to the edge of the dome and saw chaos. Another dome had shattered, one that belonged to Lord Varnock's neighbor. Inside there was only black slime and torn metal. The pet, a small bird-like creature, was gone. The soldiers fired plasma bolts into the shadows, but nothing hit. The creature was too fast, too smart. Lord Varnock arrived, shouting, "Find it, before it reaches my dome!" But he was too late. Behind him, Luna hissed again. Her fur stood up like spikes. She looked toward the ceiling, and there it was. The predator crawled across the roof like a shadow made of glass. The guards opened fire, but the creature dropped down, right in front of Mira's dome. Mira screamed and stepped back. The next day, the city of Zilara Prime changed forever. The once proud aliens, who had laughed at humans, now walked in silence. Every street, every dome was filled with fear. The story spread fast. A human pet's cat killed the predator. Lord Varnock's mansion became the center of attention. Reporters, scientists, and soldiers arrived, all wanting to see the cat that had defeated the nightmare. Mira sat inside her glass dome, holding Luna in her arms. The little cat looked calm, almost bored, as if nothing had happened. But Mira couldn't stop thinking about what she saw the night before. The glowing eyes, the impossible strength, the way Luna had moved like no Earth animal ever could. "Who are you, really?" Mira whispered. Luna looked up at her and blinked slowly. But for a second, Mira thought she saw a spark of understanding in her golden eyes, as if the cat knew everything. Soon, Lord Varnock arrived with a group of alien scientists. They wore white armor and carried scanners that beeped and flashed. "We must study this creature," one of them said. "It is not a normal Earth pet. It carries something inside." Mira stood up quickly. "You can't take her." The scientists ignored her. They opened the dome's gate and reached for Luna, but the cat didn't move. She sat perfectly still, her tail wrapped around her paws. When the first alien touched her, his scanner exploded. Sparks flew and he fell to the floor, his body shaking. The others stepped back in shock. "She has a force field," another whispered. "An energy we've never seen before." Lord Varnock's face turned pale. "Impossible. She's just a cat." But Mira wasn't surprised anymore. She had always felt there was something special about Luna, something otherworldly. That night, Mira sat beside her again. The dome was quiet. Outside, lightning flashed in the alien sky. "They'll come for you," Mira said softly. "They'll try to hurt you because they're scared." Luna looked at her and let out a small sound, half meow, half growl. Then she stood up and walked to the edge of the dome, her golden eyes focused on the sky. Mira followed her gaze and gasped. Far above, dozens of glowing green ships were entering the atmosphere. The predators were coming. Sirens began to scream across the city. Solarians ran in panic. The sky turned red as alien weapons fired at the invaders. Lord Varnock's voice echoed through the palace. "All domes, lock down. Protect the pets. The predators are invading." Guards rushed everywhere. Explosions shook the ground. Mira clutched Luna tightly. "What do we do?" Luna looked up at her, and something strange happened. Her body began to glow faintly. Silver and gold light mixed together, pulsing like a heartbeat. Then, in a voice soft but clear, Mira heard something in her mind. It wasn't sound, it was thought. Don't be afraid, Mira. Mira froze. Her heart stopped. Luna, did you just talk? The cat's eyes glowed brighter. Not talk, connect. The sky of Zilara Prime burned red. Alien ships exploded like stars falling from the sky. The predators were everywhere. Shadows with glowing green eyes tearing through everything alive. In the middle of the chaos, Mira and Luna ran through the broken streets. Once this place had been full of light and laughter. Now it was smoke and screams. Mira's heart raced as she held Luna close. Where are we going? She shouted. Luna's voice echoed in her mind. To the mountains beyond the city. There's something hidden there. Something human. Mira stumbled over broken glass. Human, but all humans are gone. The Zilarians took everyone. Not all, Luna said. There were survivors. They left a signal. I've been waiting for it to return. Mira's eyes widened. You mean there are more of us? Luna didn't answer, but her tail twitched, and that was enough hope to make Mira keep running. They passed shattered domes, fallen towers, and alien guards fighting for their lives. Even the proud Zilarians were no match for the hunters. Their energy weapons did nothing against the black creatures that melted through walls. One soldier saw Mira and pointed his weapon at her. Human, stop! Before he could fire, Luna leapt from Mira's arms. She landed on his armor, claws glowing gold, and with one touch the weapon fried in his hands. The soldier screamed and fell back, paralyzed. No time, Luna said. Run! Mira ran through the smoke until she reached the edge of the city, a long bridge leading toward the dark mountains. Behind her, the city burned like a dying sun. Hours passed. The red glow faded, replaced by cold starlight. Mira's legs ached, her lungs burned, but she didn't stop. Finally, they reached a rocky valley. Strange lights flickered ahead. Blue, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. What is that? Mira whispered. Luna jumped down and walked forward. It's the signal. It's been calling me for years. Mira frowned. Calling you? Not me, Luna paused. You wouldn't have survived the capture without me, Mira. I was placed with you for a reason. Mira stared at her. You said you were sent to protect humanity. But who sent you? For the first time, Luna looked uncertain. Her glowing eyes dimmed slightly. I don't know their name, only their voice. They called themselves the Makers, the ones who built both humans and predators long ago. Mira froze. Built both? Yes, Luna said. The predators were not born. They were created to destroy. But something went wrong. They escaped control. The Makers vanished. Only fragments remain. Mira's voice trembled. So we're all creations? You are more than that, Luna said gently. Humans were the only ones who learned to feel. Love, fear, hope. That's why the predators hate you. They feed on emotion. Before Mira could reply, the ground shook. A low roar echoed through the valley. Luna's fur rose. They found us. From the shadows, 3 predators appeared, larger than before, moving like living smoke. Their green eyes glowed in the dark. The sleeping chamber shook violently as explosions echoed above. Dust fell from the ceiling. The mountain itself seemed to cry. Mira stood in the center of the glowing pods, surrounded by thousands of humans slowly awakening from a sleep that had lasted for centuries. Luna! They're waking up. But the predators are coming. Luna's golden eyes scanned the shadows. Keep your hand on the core, Mira. The awakening must finish before the gate falls. Mira pressed her palm against the glowing console. Streams of blue energy ran through the floor and into every pod. One by one, the sleepers opened their eyes, confused, afraid, but alive. Where are we? Who are you? Mira's voice trembled. You're safe, for now. The world has changed. But we're still human. The humans looked around at the strange cat with glowing eyes. Luna stood on a rock, her fur shining. What is that? One man asked. Luna's voice filled the chamber, not as sound, but as thought. I am Luna, guardian of the Maker's Code. I was placed among you to protect the last human bloodline. The people stared, unable to speak. Above, the ceiling cracked. A roar thundered through the tunnel. The predators had arrived. Mira turned to Luna. We can't fight them all. We don't have to, Luna said. But we must hold them long enough for the humans to escape. Blue lights formed symbols across the walls. A large metal door opened at the far end of the chamber. A hidden path leading deeper underground. Everyone, move! Mira shouted. Follow the light! The newly awakened humans began to run. Some stumbled, some cried, but they followed her voice. The ground shook harder. Through the main tunnel, black smoke spilled in, and from it the predators crawled. Dozens of them. Their green eyes glowed like poison. Luna leapt forward, landing between the humans and the monsters. Her entire body blazed with light.
Stay behind me! The first predator attacked.
Luna's claws sliced through it like lightning, leaving trails of fire. But for every one that fell, 2 more appeared. Mira grabbed a fallen plasma rifle from a dead alien guard. She didn't know how it worked, but she aimed and fired. The blast struck a predator's chest, burning a hole through it. Her hands shook, but she kept firing. I won't be a pet anymore. Luna smiled. Or maybe Mira just imagined it. Together, they fought. Human and cat, side by side. But the predators kept coming. Mira, go! Luna shouted. I'll hold them. Tears filled Mira's eyes. No, I can't leave you. Luna's eyes softened. You're the key, Mira. Humanity's hope depends on you. With shaking hands, Mira backed toward the escape door. The last thing she saw before the door closed was Luna, standing tall, glowing brighter than the sun, facing the endless darkness alone. Then the door sealed shut. The world above collapsed. When Mira opened her eyes, she was somewhere else. The tunnel had led her into a massive round room, walls covered in floating lights and moving symbols. It felt alive, like a heart beating beneath the mountain. Hundreds of humans stood around her, silent and afraid. Mira stepped forward. Is everyone okay? A man with gray eyes nodded. Yes, but what now? The cat, she's gone. Mira's heart ached. She sacrificed herself. For us. Suddenly the walls glowed brighter. A tall holographic figure appeared in front of them. A being made of pure light. Welcome, survivors, it said in a calm voice. I am the last echo of the Makers. Everyone stared, frozen. The figure continued. Eons ago we created life. Humans, Zalarians, and predators. We wanted to balance emotion and logic, creation and destruction, but we failed. The predators grew hungry for power. Only one guardian was sent to stop them, the cat you call Luna. Mira's voice broke. Is she alive? She exists between worlds, the figure said. Her body may fall, but her code cannot die. You must finish her task, Mira frowned. How? The figure raised its hand. A crystal rose from the floor, glowing bright blue. This is the heart of Earth, the last power source of humanity. It can destroy the predators, or rebuild your world. The ground trembled again. The predators had found a way through the mountain. Their screams echoed down the tunnels. Mira reached for the crystal. If this is our only hope, then I'll use it, the figure warned her. The heart requires a connection, a living link to Luna's code. Without it, the power will consume you. Mira looked up, her eyes fierce. Then let it. Humanity deserves a chance. She touched the crystal, and blinding light filled the room. For a moment, everything disappeared. Then Mira heard Luna's voice. Mira, you found it. Mira opened her eyes. She was standing in a world of light, floating stars, endless sky. Luna stood before her unharmed. You're alive, Mira cried. Luna shook her head softly. Not alive, connected. You hold the heart of Earth, and I am part of it. Together we can finish this. Mira smiled through tears. Then let's end it. Back in the real world, her body glowed with blue and gold light. The heart merged into her chest. The humans watched as energy spread from her body like waves of light. The predators burst into the chamber, hundreds of them. But when the first one touched the light, it screamed and burned away. Mira raised her hand, eyes shining white. This world is not yours. A shockwave of energy exploded outward, vaporizing the monsters one by one. When the light faded, the mountain was silent again. The humans were safe, but Mira collapsed. Her body fell beside the glowing crystal, still warm with power. When Mira opened her eyes again, she was outside, went under a real sky, blue, bright, peaceful. The mountain was gone. The predators were gone. Around her, humans stood blinking at the sunrise. Children laughed. The air was clean. The stars above shone gently. She looked down and saw Luna sitting beside her, perfectly calm, tail flicking. "You came back," Mira whispered. Luna purred softly. "So did you," Mira smiled. "Did we win?"
For now.
"The predators are gone, but the galaxies still remember. The Zilarians will return, but this time humanity will not be pets." Mira stood up, looking at the horizon, a new world waiting to be built. Behind her, the survivors began to gather. They had tools, knowledge, and hope. "What happens next?" someone asked. Mira turned to them, eyes shining. "We rebuild. We start again. And we remember what we were, and who saved us." Luna jumped onto a rock, watching the humans spread across the green valley below. Her eyes glowed faintly, and a small smile crossed her feline face. "They laughed at human pets," she murmured softly, her voice fading in the wind, until the pet became the protector. The camera would slowly pan up toward the sky, bright blue, filled with quiet stars and one star, glowing gold, pulsing like a heartbeat. A final whisper echoed across the cosmos. "The war never ends. It only changes its hunters."